Welcome to Loungin in the Lair. To top off your Thanksgiving feast, I'll be lounging in the lair with Caelan, Jack, and Mark from Ignite the Fire. Welcome to Lounging in the Lair, and I get joined by several members of Ignite the Fire. Jack, Mark, and Caelan's there somewhere. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Doing good. So, did you guys have something big come out lately? I've been I might have been a little off or lately. Did you guys have something big come out lately?
We sure did. We had a very successful single drop, and we're very proud of how well it's doing.
I saw how well it's doing. So tell us a little about Unstoppable, because it's a great song. We've been playing it here on the show because it rocks. From the first time I saw it, I enjoyed it. So tell the folks about the song.
Yeah, sure. So we decided to go in a somewhat different direction for this one. We wanted to maintain as much heaviness as possible, but we feel like with what was going on, well, actually, we wrote the song long before the pandemic hit, but we wanted to make something a bit more anthemic for the crowds. So we wanted something with a bit of a chant that the crowd could chant back at us. And now we feel like with the way we wrote it, and now with what's been going on, we feel like it's going to hit home a lot more. And we feel like maybe now our crowds, if they sing it in the car, or if we ever get to actually do concerts again, they can get out all their aggression when they chant this back to us. So that was kind of the hope for this song. We wanted something to really appeal to that aspect of the fans.
Yeah, and we really felt like introducing ourselves with this next upcoming album that we'll be having out shortly. We really wanted that introduction to be very high energy, especially with what's going on. It's something we felt people needed right now. So that's why we went for probably one of the more energetic tracks off this upcoming album. And really the whole message of making you reflect on what makes you feel unstoppable is really something we wanted to get people to think about instead of kind of being down. We wanted to bring the spirits back up some in this time.
Well, it did, because I mean, every time I play it on the show, or if I'm here in the studio listening to it, man, I'm just pumped up by it. It's an incredible song. I'm just pumped up by it, and nobody gets to see this stuff in during the regular show, but I'm sitting here, headbanging and acting goofy, and
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, as long as it does that for you, then it did its job.
Right. Yeah.
We did our job.
If it wakes you up from that like 2:00 lull that everybody gets at their job, or helps you get that last rep out in a workout, that's what the song is made for.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is an incredible song. So when is the new album coming out? Do you have a date yet?
We'll have release about the release soon.
All right.
We'll advertise the release of the album very soon.
So you'll release a release about the release.
Right.
Yes. Right.
But
All
we're not
right.
signing any release. So
Okay.
Building anticipation.
yes.
All right. Well, I'm eagerly anticipating to hear the rest of the album once it comes out, because as I told Rick, if the rest of the album's the same way, it's going to be unstoppable.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
No,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, talking about how this song really reflects the album, I think we're going to hear a very broad range from us this time around. You're going to hear songs like Unstoppable. You're going to hear us go even heavier than Unstoppable, but you're going to hear us go in a very soft direction. Our last CD, Echoes, did really well for us, and we really wanted to kind of recapture that energy and magic again. So we're really looking to do that with this next CD, and it's definitely going to be worth the wait.
I know a lot of people are anxious for it to come out. So, but
We are too.
Yes,
yeah,
too.
I bet you are, because I'm guessing the whole COVID thing kept it from coming out sooner.
Yes, so we actually started recording it about a month or two before everything started, got about 3/4 done, and then had to take a few months off from the studio, which that kind of gap in studio time has never happened for us before.
Mhm.
There was a lot of firsts for this recording session, really, for us. Completely changed how we wrote, how we recorded, and then this big gap also helped us kind of reflect on how that process was going and allowed us to make changes on things afterwards, and then come in with a fresh mindset after getting, kind of burnt out from it for a while. So that time off did help us in ways, but then it did end up delaying everything by a fairly significant amount of time.
It brought us a lot of, I like to call it a period of reflection.
Mhm.
We were really able to look a lot deeper into what we were doing, because when you're not distracted by the process of writing, which I know that sounds weird to say, but it's kind of a you don't really think about it when you're writing. I mean, you think about it before you start writing, obviously, but it was good to kind of not do the same thing over and over, and to just kind of take a huge break so that we could get some self-reflection on it. And I think it really made it into something special for doing that, for all of us included.
Nice. So other than, not being out with the crowds, and I know a lot of people are missing seeing you guys. What's COVID doing, in your lives? What's the going on as far as
I think one thing that can be a positive for it is it's helped create a lot of like self-reflection
Mhm.
through this whole time period. And whether that's like, oh, I need to refocus my energy on this thing, or I can improve myself this way. I think we did that for ourselves in a way, not just personally, but as a band, and saying like, oh, we have this time now where this is the direction we want to take from here, instead of being like, oh, we need to do everything immediately on knee-jerk reactions. It gives you time to reflect and be like, again, going back to the recording session, since we had that long break, we were able to reflect on everything we had done and be like, is this good enough? Is this what we want to release? Are we happy about it? And we were able to take that, and it gave us time to have answers for that.
Yeah,
So
and I will also add to that. Both Mark and I actually, we write all of the tracks in the album. Like we have a lot of teamwork when it comes to writing the tracks of the album, like the strings and the sub basses and everything that you hear that sort of adds to the rock and roll experience. With the time off that we've had, I recently got a lot of new softwares for my computer to practice learning how to make backing tracks.
Mhm.
So, with this most recent album, there's a lot of new creativity with it. But in addition to pretty much every album we make from here on out, there's going to be a lot more technical aspects to it, and a lot more backing tracks to them to make the entire sound be a lot more powerful. So
Nice.
definitely look forward to that. And I don't think it would have happened if it weren't for the time off that we had. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, to just kind of be left with nothing to do and to try to occupy yourself. You start going in different creative directions.
Mhm.
So it was bad to not play any shows this year, but it was also really good for developing our craft. It made me really appreciate what we do live and what we are as a band.
Absolutely.
So with that time off, did you listen to it and go, hey, you know what? I like this, but I think this would make the song better. Did you do that with any of the songs?
In a way, in the gap in the studio, but once we went back, we flew through everything, because we had it in our mind like, oh, this is how it needs to go. And then it was like, we probably finished that last quarter of the album like 3 times faster than how it would have been if we kept going through it. I mean, by that time, we had been going there like twice a week for like 3-4 months straight without a break. And then you do kind of get burnt out from it at that point. So then we were able to come back fresh with our fresh ideas and everything. So it kind of helped make this album and singles like Unstoppable as good as they were, because it allowed us that time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you said like, did we ever have a period where we just sat and listened to it and thought, I like it, but that's kind of been our entire experience as a band. Like every project we've ever done, we try to improve on the one that came before, like even after it's finished. Thankfully with this one, we had the privilege of being able to hear everything unfinished before it was ready to be released. So with this one, I think now that we've done that, we might do it again, maybe not as long, hopefully, but we might do that again on the next album, just have a period of just listening to the unfinished tracks and going back in, because I think how we handled it this time around, I think was really beneficial for us.
Now,
And hopefully for the listeners too, because I mean, we like it. You said that the listeners like it. You love it.
yeah,
And that's
I love it.
That's exactly what we want out of it.
Yeah.
So we should do this again. What do you think?
Not a global pandemic, but definitely
No.
reflection.
So, Jack, I know the cover for Unstoppable you did. So
Yes.
what other artwork did you do for the album? Or did you?
Pretty much every album we've done, I've done the artwork for.
yeah?
Every single, every album, everything like that. I mean, I'm a Photoshop nerd, so
This little guy.
did the logo too.
A Photoshop nerd. Well, we'll have to talk someday then.
Yeah, by all means, I'd love to. I love sharing ideas. I love working with people, especially on artistic projects, whether it be music or art. So I love collaboration. Let's do it.
All right, we'll have to get together and come up with something. So what else? Is there anything else you guys got going on? I mean,
honestly,
album?
it's just,
We're just writing. That's what we do.
We've been writing. We're focused on this new release. Obviously, the new CD, which details coming soon. I think this has given us a time to, like we've been talking about, reflection. There's definitely been a time of reflection with the band and figuring out, okay, well, where do we want to go? How do we want to take things further? And there's a lot of things that we're excited for 2021. There was things we were excited for this year. But now we're getting a chance to really think about, okay, next year, hopefully with the vaccines they're talking about, we can get back to doing live music. We have a lot of fun and exciting shows coming up, and we're ready to take this thing to the next level. And this is how we're going to do it. And it's just a lot to be excited about. So we're really gearing up for next year, obviously with the new CD, and a lot of surprises to come.
Yeah, so listeners, if you're paying attention, if you take anything from this at all, we haven't gone anywhere. So please don't you go anywhere. Don't you give up on us. We will never give up on you, we promise.
It's the one thing we've always been talking about is eventually these shows will come back, and bands will get the chance to play again, which is why we got to support local venues at a time where they may not be open, because those venues need to come back. So bands like yours have a place to play. And of course, we have to get you guys up here to play as well.
More often, yes. We love you guys. We love the crowd up there. We love the energy up there. We want to come back.
Well, I know we had hoped to put on a fundraiser for St. Jude there in September, but with this COVID going on, it didn't happen. We will get that done someday, though.
Yes.
If, we get that vaccine, we get the everything open again. We will get that done and get you guys up here again. So
we're looking forward to it.
All right, gentlemen, that's all I have. Tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs.
Everywhere.
We have a website, ignitethefiremusic.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find our music on iTunes. You can find it on Apple, and you can even hear it on the Lurch's Lair.
Hey.
Nice drop there. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course,
yes.
of course. No, but in all honesty, you know, people like you playing our music is really what keeps us afloat. What keeps us alive. It keeps the listeners interested, and we thank you so much for your support. But yeah, you can find us on all the social medias. You can find us online wherever music is at, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think of the new music. So,
Yes, if you watch our music on YouTube, leave a comment. We love reading comments, whether it be good or bad or whatnot. It doesn't matter. Likes, dislikes, doesn't matter. We love making connections with our fans. So by all means, please.
And especially these days with no live shows, these comments, social media interactions, that's all we have to base things off of. So any kind of comment helps.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. There it is. Jack, Mark, and Caelan from Ignite the Fire.
Take care and keep rocking.
Thank you for joining me here in the Lair. You can catch a new Lounging in the Lair every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And join me live every Monday night in Lurch's Lair at 6 p.m. Eastern with the best in independent rock from around the world. Only on 99 WNRR.